Have you ever encountered a time when you were with your child and knew a challenging behavior was about to occur, but didn't know how to prevent it? If so, this video is for you. In today's episode of Behavior Nation's Caregiver Education video series, we will discuss what redirection is, why we use it, and the types of redirection. As caregivers and parents, you know when a challenging behavior is going to occur because you may begin to see what's called a precursor behavior. This is a response that precedes a challenging behavior. It also can be referred to as the trigger or the antecedent to the behavior. For example, whining or fussing before engaging in a tantrum, pushing items away before throwing the items, looking around the room before eloping, or looking at other items or toys the child might be interested in playing with. Some situations may not be as obvious and may have occurred in the distant past. These situations are called setting events. This is an event that could have made a challenging behavior more likely to happen and can include situations or instances that we may or may not have control over. Some examples include a child being hungry, a child forgetting to take their ADHD medication, having little or not enough sleep last night, or the absence or presence of another person who may or may not be aversive. In these situations, the child may not be able to communicate these things to us, but by understanding triggers or setting events, we can prevent a challenging behavior or teach an appropriate alternative by using redirections. Now let's discuss what it is. Redirection is a proactive strategy which is used before the challenging behavior occurs. It works by directing the learner's attention away from the challenging behavior and guiding them to engage in an alternative and more functional behavior. These alternative behaviors will provide them with the same desired outcome. For example, crying will get mom's attention, but so will calling out mom's name. Now let's talk about why we do it. The reason we use redirection is to prevent a challenging behavior from occurring or to direct the learner to an appropriate alternative or more functional response. Please note that redirection does not completely diminish a behavior. A behavior intervention plan should still be implemented to completely change the challenging behaviors and provide the child with more functional alternative to these behaviors. So before the actual challenging behavior occurs, you may begin to see those precursor behaviors. By knowing these, we can direct their attention away from something else by using different types of redirection. The two types of redirection are verbal and physical. Verbal redirection is teaching the learner what you want them to do without bringing attention to the unwanted behavior. Ways to verbally redirect behavior are guiding the learner to an alternative behavior without reacting to the challenging behavior. So instead of yelling, "Don't hit your brother," you can say, "Show me quiet hands." Or if the learner is engaging in throwing Legos, you can make a statement like, "Look, help me build the rocket ship," while modeling the appropriate behavior. You can also use what's known as differential reinforcement, so their attention is on the appropriate behavior versus the challenging behavior. So you can say something like, "Awesome job using quiet hands," for a learner who throws or hits peers. Or you can say, "I like how you're using your words." Another thing you can say is, "I like that you told me you wanted to do something else." In these examples, the learner's attention is on the appropriate behavior versus the challenging behavior. You can also redirect attention by reinforcing others around who are engaging in an appropriate response. "Wow, look at Julia sharing so nicely with her friend." Or you can say, "Great job using inside voice, Johnny." Or, "I like how nicely Tom is sitting and building his blocks." Now that we discussed verbal redirection, let's talk about physical redirection. This is guiding the learner away from a place or situation. So if the learner is climbing on furniture, you might redirect them to jump on the trampoline instead. Or if the learner is trying to open kitchen cabinets and take out all the items, you can use redirection by guiding them back to the play area. Remember, by knowing triggers or setting events, we can use redirection by guiding a learner to an appropriate alternative before they engage in the unwanted behavior. Physical redirection may work well for kids who are nonverbal and do not understand verbal redirection. Verbal redirection works well for kids who follow receptive instructions. Redirection can also work well for those who can transition easily from one activity to another. And this can also work well in a group setting where others can model the appropriate behavior. Don't forget that redirection by itself will not decrease a challenging behavior. It's recommended that you always reach out to your behavior analyst and develop a plan that is individualized for your child. Thank you for watching. We hope you found this information useful. If you have any questions, reach out to us via email at info@behaviornation.com. You can call us at 844-262-8466 or visit our website at www.behaviornation.com.